Hey everyone, Sky Knight here, bringing you a upcoming ban list discussion video. I hope everyone had a happy holidays and spent a good time with family, as well as had a lot of good food. So let me jump into this. So it's that time of the year where we're all trying to predict what's going to be on the upcoming ban list for the next year. Taking a look at the ban list as well as trying to forecast what you see out there and everything, I'm really thinking they're probably going to try to limit somehow the three current meta decks that are out there, which Qliphorts, Burning Abyss, and Shaddolls. Personally, I think Shaddolls is probably on its way out just because we have heroes coming into the fray with a new structure deck, as well as you don't need to see that. Sorry, who cares what's on Twitter these days? As well as the Necros, the new ritual monsters coming out and everything. So taking a look at this, so we'll kind of work its way through. So kind of looking at the ban list, do I think there's any ban cards coming off? I do believe there's a couple coming off. My first one is what everyone talks about and what everyone's trying to figure out is Elemental Hero Stratos. In my opinion, I think this is probably the best time, if any time, for Elemental Hero Stratos to come off the ban list, solely because the structure deck is coming out. If Konami wants to sell more of the structure decks, they are better off removing Elemental Hero Stratos from the ban list, and that's only the only financial aspect of why they would do this. At the same time, Rhoda is at 3, which actually helps out the Elemental Heroes, and so I'm going back and forth on this, but I think this is probably the best time, if any time, for Elemental Hero Stratos to come off. If it does come off, I think Rhoda down the line, I don't think directly this ban list might get hit, but in the future probably will. Or they might just not let Stratos come off, which who knows for that reason. The second one that I believe probably coming off the ban list is Dark Strike Fighter. Now, the reason why Dark Strike Fighter, I believe, will come off the ban list is solely from the reprint of its text coming out in Legendary Collections 5Ds, with this effect only being able to be used once per turn. In previous formats, Dark Strike Fighter used to be used multiple times in turn, which basically was able to OTK a lot of your opponents. But with the new text coming out, I gotta believe this is coming off the ban list. Now, moving down to the limited section, I really didn't see a whole lot of big changes. I just don't feel like this format's going to be, really radical changes. So a couple things I could possibly see possibly being removed from the ban list is actually Gladiator Beast Bastari. Reason why, I don't think I've ever recalled Gladiator Beast even coming close in kind of regionals lately. So that's why I'm thinking this card is probably permanently coming off the ban list. Probably a couple upgrades I think are probably going to happen coming off the limited. I think the first one's going to be Torrential Tribute. Now, the reasoning behind, I think, Torrential Tribute is that there's too many floater monsters in the game itself that Torrential Tribute doesn't do anything towards them. But at the same time, you're seeing a lot more OTK decks. And looking kind of into the future, especially if the Triple D monsters, was it Dark Dimension, or I forget off the top of my head, if those ever come out, you have another OTK strong deck. And with the OCG having Torrential Tribute at 3, I gotta believe that this is probably, it's not gonna go to 3 automatically, but I feel like this will go to 2. The second one I feel like is Blackwing Gale the Whirlwind. It went down to 2, and everyone thought that maybe Blackwings are making a big comeback. But I've seen Blackwings a couple times make some rogue appearances, but not as enough to warrant any of their cards being on the ban list. So I feel like Gale will permanently come off the ban list. Now, as for cards probably coming onto the ban list, I feel like the first one they're going to hit is Vanity's Emptiness. By far, this card is just too powerful in the game. Looking down the future, well, even you can look now at current decks that all rely on special summoning. This card just shuts down those decks, especially looking at the Necros. A lot of those decks, current builds that I've seen, don't even run an MST. So if you flip a Vanity's Emptiness on those players, they pretty much scoop and say GG because they have no response to this. This shuts them down completely. At the same time, you're seeing multiple main decks running 3 copies of this. Even I am running 3 copies of this just to slow down the meta. So I feel like this card's getting hit. I don't feel like it's going to get banned, but I feel like it's going to definitely get limited. The next one I feel like is probably going to get limited is Skill Drain. Now, Skill Drain is currently being run by almost every Qwilfort player out there, and this card is just a pain in the ass to deal with. Just taking away your monster's effects, and especially for Qliforts, just, you know, putting out big beat sticks. This card is just, and I know multiple players absolutely hate this card. I feel like this card needs to be banned in some form. So I'm pretty sure this card's going to get limited in some form or another. Then looking at the other decks, I feel like right now, currently, the #1 meta deck out there is probably Burning Abyss. And the reason, the main reason why is they're chainable trap cards and being able to get free pluses using their monsters and dishing them off. So I feel like they're either going to probably hit Phoenix Wing Wing Blast or Karma Cut. I feel like this is probably the better card to hit to limit them in their ability, especially going down, looking down the road. They're actually getting a ritual monster now, which like they need to get any more powerful, and heaven forbid that their the ritual spell card that's attached to it has another effect, which would just make them even more broken than there is. But in order to probably balance them out, if you want to hit them, you probably hit their chainable trap cards. I don't see in any of the sets in particular, like Qliforts, Burning Abyss, or even Shaddolls, that they're hitting any of their main cards, just because, thinking from Konami's standpoint, you want people to buy their cards. You don't limit their cards. You hit their support. Like they hit Shaddolls, they took away Super Polymerization. So this is where I think they're going to hit. Now, of course, I got to think of something crazy that's probably coming off the ban list or going on the ban list or vice versa and everything. And I'm thinking inside of my head, what would be the best possible, you know, card to come off the ban list, as well as just something that would just totally shake up the game, like you saw with Raigeki coming off. And even when you saw Raigeki, it was a nice tech card, but you didn't see it make the impact into the game as a lot of players thought that it originally would. And even so, I can even possibly see those cards even, you know, becoming even semi-limited possibly, just because I just don't feel like they're making a big impact. But I feel like probably this is a good shot, and this is probably coming out right field. I think Monster Reborn has a good chance of coming off the ban list, particularly for this format. Do I have any good reasoning why this will happen? I know why this card should come off. Not particularly. But looking at a lot of the ban cards, this probably has a good chance of coming off. It can't help everyone, and I don't know if this card is worthy of coming off yet with the current ban list that it is, but I don't know. I'm just calling it right now. I feel like Monster Reborn will probably come off the ban list. So that's what my upcoming thoughts are for the upcoming ban list for January 2015. So I would love to hear what your comments are. Maybe you think I'm full of crap here with Monster Reborn possibly having a chance, or even thinking the other cards. And I might possibly be missing out. So I would love to hear your comments down below. So other than that, you know, please like, subscribe, and I, guys, will see you later.